might think more highly of yourself if you think your will is better and more pleasing than God's will. Because your will is the only thing that concerns you. See, here's the challenge. God's will, oftentimes, I would even venture to say every time, God's will is always indicative of not just you, but others around you and others you hadn't even come into contact with. God's will always has a multiplicity of different things to accomplish. God's will never sets and settles with you and you alone. It's always intent on reaching and extending itself to help other people step into their purpose and their will for their lives. I want to say this to you because here it is. Jonah. Jonah had an issue with God's will. And Jonah thought that his will was better than God's will. Jonah said, if I go to the children of Nineveh and I tell them what God said concerning repenting, they're going to repent and God's going to forgive them, and then, they ain't going to be dealt with. You might just think more highly of yourself if you think that your will is better and more perfect than God's will. Well, that's lofty. That's lofty. You really think highly of yourself. You really think, but people do it every day. They do it every day. When they close their ears